Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and you know what? You can see today we are celebrating Halloween by making Halloween photo props. We're going to see how to make a mask. If you look here at the table, there's a whole bunch of them, and let me hold them up because the fun part is when you have your party and you have anywhere, it doesn't have to be a photo booth, just a place where you're going to take photos. You can see that this one I've got trick or treat on one side, and on the flip side I've used a different alphabet to write boo, and of course people can choose their side. You can even have blank ones with chalk paint and have people chalk with a chalk marker and write their own message if they want. It's fun to use. I used candy corn as my theme in order to create a little bow tie. No Halloween would be complete without lips that have fangs. So this is a cool one. And to mimic a tattoo, I thought it would be nice to have a scary spider. You can tell I love Halloween. My whole family loves Halloween. We are merciless in the tricks that we do to each other every year, and it's fun every year. So in order to make them, let's look first at the trick or treat. What it is I just handmade like a caption box. So I'll bring this up and show you. I took and just made like a wobbly square with rounded corners and added the little arrow portion. Did it in pencil on the white, and I'm going to put adhesive behind it, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it to the black before I even start. So let me put adhesive, and you're going to want really solid adhesive. I'm not going to stop to do it, but what I normally do is if you hold it up to the light, you can see your pencil lines. As I said, I'm not going to worry about solid adhesive right now because I just want to make sure you know how to build it. So once you have, it can be Xyron or you can use whatever solid adhesive or just lots of adhesive. I'm going to go ahead, place it onto black so that I have a caption box that's white on one side and black on the other side. And then with my scissors, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. As I'm cutting inside the pencil line wherever I can, just because that way I won't have to go back and erase it. Now something I should mention as I'm cutting, the size of my caption box, it was dictated by the size of the letters that I was going to use inside. So I actually used a Tim Holtz die, and it's an alphabet that is called Wordplay. And I have the packaging still, so I'm going to hold it up so you can see it as soon as I finish cutting this out. So once you have the caption box cut out, any place where you can still see your pencil lines, go ahead and erase those. Before I worry about putting the text in, let me show you. This is the Wordplay alphabet. That is the Tim Holtz die that I used because I liked that the letters are kind of randomly shaped. So that's what I used, but it's nice and solid. I even use stickers for the or in order to get it all to fit. So in order for this to happen, what I did was I went ahead and put the slits first, and that way I know where to avoid when I'm sticking the alphabet down. So let me go ahead and find a spot where you would want to put your, it doesn't matter where, it can be anywhere, but you're normally just going to do your slits, and it could be here, it could be here. What might be important to do is just cut your letters out, and since these are going to be on this side, it doesn't matter, but if I were going to do it this way, I could use white so that you could see, but wherever you're going to put your slits, lay your letters down and make sure they're going to fit around wherever you put those slits. So I'll go ahead and cut through both layers. They're just about a 1/4 inch apart. When you go to your local coffee shop or bakery, I don't drink coffee, but when I pick up tea, I like green tea, I will go ahead and every time I go and buy something, I'll take a couple of stir sticks, even though I don't need to stir anything, and then use them later for projects like this. So all I'm doing is now threading the stick through, and I'll go ahead and put the stick in place so that when I go back and start placing the lettering down, I can see where I want to avoid. So since I have more lettering on this side, it makes more sense for me to poke this stick through going the other way. So I'm going to start here and have the end of the stick on this side. This way I only have this much showing. And then go ahead, cut out your letters, place your message down. And if you prefer, like I said, you can use chalkboard paper and a chalk marker, and that way your guests at your party or your family, they can write whatever they want to say in their caption box. After you've done the caption box, let's look at another couple of options. Here is the lips, and what I did was I found a die cut that actually had 3 lip shapes on there, and I'll set this down so you can see. I took my X-Acto knife and I just used the perforations as a guide in order to cut right along the perforation. Then I just hand cut with scissors some white fangs, some kind of oversized eye teeth, and fastened them, glued them down, and then once again cut the 2 slits so that I could put the stick through. And I added with a red marker some details, and I think as well as having the slit where the 2 lips meet, having it highlighted, I think I would also go back. I think it's going to look good to go around the outside edges. I won't stop to do the whole thing, but it's going to look kind of nice to add some more detail in red with a marker to the lips as well. The one that I really want to share with you is the mask. It's easy enough to do, and I got it started to make it a little quicker, but I just die cut a mask out. If you don't have one, it's symmetrical, so it's easy to create a mask shape with, if you want it to look, well, you can decide if you want to use a hole punch, it would be just circles, or I made them a little more like cat's eyes. I put holes because I'm going to hang ribbons, so you can see what I've done here. And if you look at the ribbons, all I've done is just taken 3 or 4, this is 4 different colored ribbons. I tied them into a knot, and the knot just needs to be fat enough that when I thread the ribbons through, the knot will catch on that hole and it won't go through. So it will keep it in position. So you have some nice fun danglies. And then in order to get a separation, I have black and white on one side, white on the other, and the seam is sort of covered with these butterflies in the middle. What I did was I just took the packaging from one of my kits because I had paper that I liked my design from the kit, and I just used this as my inspiration to just freehand a design. It's not tricky at all to go back and add in parts to your design that you like. It is fun to do. This is a fun project also to do with kids. You can see how it's going to go. Once you've got your design and it goes all the way roughly to this middle section, then you go back through, and I'm not going to spend the time coloring more than a little bit, but if you color in around the design that you've started, it makes it look kind of exotic, almost looks batik-ish by having it be black and white. And it would be smarter if I were doing this with a fatter pen, but let me just color a little bit and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm not going to color anymore at this point, but I want to just show you how it starts, you know, what looks kind of crude and almost like nothing starts to look kind of fun once you get that black all mixed in with your white design. Once you have the whole thing designed, I went to this middle section. Then in order to cover the seam, what I did was I just took butterflies and I placed them along the perimeter of the design. Let me go ahead and put adhesive on these butterflies. It'll be faster if I put adhesive on all of them to begin with. So what I'm going to do is just start at one end, and I'll position the purple, and then I'm going to go ahead and place the blue over the top, you have to pretend that your design goes all the way down here, so I'm covering where that seam is going to go. And then I'll place this guy so that I like how he looks. Place the yellow. Sometimes I like to go back and raise, like this one would look good raised up with a little bit of foam adhesive. I won't stop to do it, but you get the idea. What you're going to do is you're going to cover the seam that you have and you can see this one is raised with a little tiny bit of foam, and so is this one. And when you use the foam, then you can pull the wings up so that you get the dimension. So you can see that the 3 that I have foam to, you get the added dimension as well. Then all you need to do is once again go back and cut the slits and slide the sticks through, and you have just a really cool mask to add to your photo props. So whether you're planning a Halloween party with friends or a simple family gathering, you're going to get great photos if you have Halloween photo props.